Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another stream. With me here, I have a special guest, Shem. Hi, Shem.
I give.
Uh, I'm really excited because this is a topic that I am really interested in. But before we get into that, I just want to say that if this is your first time on my stream, I do this weekly on Thursdays. And the general idea is to talk to people in the community about, interesting projects they're working on, interesting topics like this one. And we go through different tangents from technical to career related topics. So I'm really excited to have you as a guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. Um, I'm Shem Magnezi. I'm from Tel Aviv, Israel. Um,
Nice.
I don't know, like 15 years of experience in engineering. I've been software engineering a couple of areas, whether it's backend, big data, a little bit of mobile web. I'm doing startups, but also worked in big corporate like WeWork and Facebook, Meta. Um, in the past, I don't know, something like 10 months.
Mm,
I've started with two of my friends that I work with in WeWork, a startup called Wilco. So
nice.
I'm the CTO there. In Wilco, we are creating a platform for every software engineer can practice their hands-on skill, solve quests, playing with all kind of real-life scenarios. We imagine it like flight simulators just
Mhm.
for software engineers that they can practice their skills.
Interesting, because I was going to ask you about that because I already went through, and funny enough, people are already asking on chats because apparently they know about Wilco. So people are asking for invites. And I was also going to ask you for invites because I signed up. And anyway, I hope you'll be able to show us a bit of that towards the end of the stream because sounds really exciting. Um,
Definitely, we'll have some invites for the audience here.
Yay, cool. Okay, excited. All right, let's get into what we're going to be discussing. So, growing your career as a mid-level developer, right? I think I'm more interested in this because I've seen more people talk about, oh, you're a junior developer. How do you transition to being mid-level? But this is a different conversation because we're going to be looking at you're a mid-level developer. How do you like make one step, how do you grow from there to get to like senior? So yeah, happy to hear your thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, and I think like we discussed between us, we threw a couple of ideas,
Yeah.
um, and this one was highlighted by both of us. This is something that we think that a lot of people getting and stuck there, but not a lot of people talking about this. Uh, Actually, earlier this day, today on Twitter, someone asked, "Okay, I got to a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do? What resources do I have? What kind of opportunities that I can take to go to the next step? Uh, as you mentioned, like there are like tons of people and tons of resources and videos and podcasts about okay, I'm a junior, I just learned how to code. How do I get into my first job? How do I get into my first task?
Yeah.
How do I pass this? But once you get it, once you get into your first gig or your couple of first years, what are you doing now, right? And it is hard. I remember myself and a lot of my teammates and the one that I managed, like stuck on those mid-level hell, right?
Yeah.
It's hard because, as I imagine it, you are used to something. um, you start from like your first year, your first gig, and then you slowly grow up in this task. Like you get a very small task, you get your first bug, you fix it, and then you get a
Yeah.
feature, you do it. Like in the beginning, it take you 1 hour, and then it take you 1 day, and then it take you 1 week. Okay, so you do it for a couple of years, but then what? How do you get to this senior title, whatever that means,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Yeah. I think it's very peculiar for folks that, have like I'm not sure if this is right, but I think mid-level categorized between 3 to like 5, 7 years of experience. Personally, I feel like tying experience to level is a little bit, off-putting for me, because there are people that probably have been coding for longer, but they don't have professional experience. So when you say somebody has been coding for 7 years, maybe not their mid. So it's just a little bit difficult to even place where is mid level, where is senior, does it come with the job title or all of that. So it's very interesting thing to
Yes, and
explore. Yeah.
yes, because you're a junior in your first, I don't know, two years, right?
Yeah.
You have 1 year of experience, you have 2 years of experience, you're a junior. But if you have 10 years, I saw software engineer that have 10 or 15 years of experience, but they didn't have the senior mindset. They didn't get the title. They didn't
Yeah.
get the responsibilities, or they have 10 years of front end experience, and then they are doing some kind of big data. Are they seniors or not? They moving between companies. They were seniors in one company, but go downgraded in other. So it's really important to understand what is senior, or what is the senior mindset. And for me, we can talk like a lot of time about senior, what does it mean, and what are their responsibilities, and the differences between companies. But like the main reason, or the main difference between senior or not senior, is like what how you approach problems. Okay,
Yeah.
because in the
Yeah.
beginning of your career you get problems, right? Your team lead, your project manager, your product manager give you things to do. You need to fix it, you need to implement it, there is a new feature, you need to do this. But in certain point in your career, you need to shift your mindset. Instead of pulling stuff, you need to push, right? You need to go to and understand the business. You need to understand what are the pain points for the team. You need to understand how you can impact the product. So you need to go out from your comfort zone. You need to go out from your, I don't know, Trello or Jira backlog. You need to get out of your team meeting, understand how can I impact the product, the business, the main KPIs. There is like very, very hard mind shifting about, okay, problems come to me, this is what I'm used to, I did it for years, and then, okay, I'm going to look for those problems, how can I do an impact.
That's interesting the way you put it, because I've also seen like people being rewarded for, doing things like, oh, there is a problem here, but we probably haven't explored it. I should go on and explore it. Like being the word I would say is should it be actionable? Like not waiting for you to get taxed to do something, taking on responsibility. Basically, it's something that I see that even though you're in a position to get like, a few more years to get promoted, you'd see that would even push you further, because they see that, grit in your team if you're working. So that's really nice. Um, Thinking about, okay, people that are doing currently working as mid-level developers, what are some actionable, you know tips or advice that you could give to them, or you should probably be doing this if you've not done it already, and all of that?
So I think there is transition phase. Like, okay, I'm used to something, and now I need to get out and find the problems. But I can't find any problems, or like problem to solve, without the context. So first of all, you need to have some context. What are the business goals for my team? What are the pain points for my team lead? What things in the product are we suffer from? um, what developers are wasting their time on. So the first thing is to get context, get some kind of information, see what are the gaps that we have. So this is context gathering, right? It
Okay.
might take you week, it might take you months, and it might take you like even more than this. But you need to pull on your radar, understand. I see there are problem that um, getting more and more frequent. and there is a problem that no one takes, and there is
Mm-hmm.
a problem in the business that's coming over and over. So the first thing is go and get some context, and maybe we can talk a little bit about it later. But once you have the context, then you know where you are able to give some impact, because there are some problems that out of your reach, right?
Yeah.
Uh, there is a business problem that you can fix with code. It's not your team responsibility. There is some other team that already working on it. So noted, I put it aside. So you need to gather
Okay.
more and more context that you can affect. So once those two areas emerge, you find like a sweet spot. I saw a problem and I saw something that I can affect. Maybe because I know the code, maybe I know the product, maybe I know a new technology that can help us. So
Mm.
you find this spot. Okay, so we have context, we have an opportunity that we are able, it's around our zone, it's around our responsibility, so we
Yeah.
can affect. And then we need to somehow lay down a plan how we are able to
Mm.
solve it. Me, our team, me and other people from other teams, but it doesn't have to be only me.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that's really, I like those steps that you've outlined. Um, Maybe the next question following that would be, how would you then go about surfacing the problem to the team? Like, for example, depending on, I know different companies have different teams. Some people might have like a manager that they could speak to about it. Like, what are best approach for you to lay out these problems to get started on, working on them?
So I think the main responsibility for managers in a tech team is to help you find those problems and be effective. Okay. Um, some managers are taking more like Scrum Master role,
Mm,
or product roadmap planners, but their main role is to look down on my teammates and see how am I able to let them the opportunity to grow and give them the opportunity to build bigger stuff. So it should be aligned with your manager. And aligned with your manager, it means that I felt that I get to a certain point where mid-level or some kind of glass ceiling that I'm feeling, and then let them know, okay, I feel like I'm very effective in those areas where are communication, where is product, where is like mentoring other people. Okay, and let them know that you want to gather context around those problems and you want opportunities to be impactful on those areas. So the manager in the end of the day has much more, she has much more context than you, because she
yeah.
was in team meetings, she has one-on-ones with her manager, so she's the one that gonna lead you to the right context and the right problems. um, and together with her, you need to find like your sweet spot, like your opportunity to be impactful. So specifically in the beginning, your manager should be the one that's going to work with you to find those opportunities.
Mm, okay. That sounds good. So look for problem, get enough context, approach your manager if possible to, get more context and then move on from there. Great. Speaking about, we've talked a bit about finding opportunities for you to, provide more impact on your team, which is nice. But there are also like other ways people could also leverage to grow as a mid-level developer. And what comes to my head is like upskilling, right? We know that developers, you never have, like you always need to be learning, right? So there are people that, oh, maybe they learned React and, React 18 is out, but they still need to learn that. So how would you like advise people to keep upskilling to be relevant in the field? Yeah.
So first of all, we need to understand why they are learning, because you
Yeah.
don't You don't want to learn Python and React and Node and Mongo and like AWS. You can't learn it all. Okay,
Yeah.
so you need to understand exactly what you need to learn. If your team is lacking of, I don't know, front end skills, so maybe you are the one that taking the lead and learn React and the new version and what are the best practices, stuff like this. If you are working with an old framework or I don't know, your server is very slow, so you are learning about microservices or how to migrate one of your services to Go. So first you need to understand what you need to learn, right?
Okay.
um, because I don't believe like one will be able to learn everything. This
No,
goes too deep.
it's not possible. Yeah.
Yes, and again, there's the manager and the tech lead. They know what they are missing. Okay, so once you understand what you need to learn and how you can be impactful, so you choose your path. Okay, so I imagine most of the mid-level engineers already know the theoretical stuff. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm going deep into React, I already know React, I already know what are components and what are hooks, but I need to know what are microservices and how to work with suspense and how to work with async rendering and stuff like
Yeah.
this. So there are like plenty of resources out there, but for those people, you need to have more hands-on knowledge, right? Because I can see videos, right? But those are very theoretical. I usually know those stuff. So what I need to learn is use cases in very advanced companies or very high load types of products. So I need
Okay.
to write blog. I need to read blogs from, I don't know, companies that far from me, like 2 3 years after my company. I want to talk with people that already solve similar problems. I want to watch some talks, and we in Wilco very believe that you need to create some kind of you need to practice on real problems, because if you want to migrate your app to the next version of React, you actually need it to do it somehow. You need to
Yeah.
create some kind of sandbox. So that's why we created a sandbox, a quest where you need to migrate 2 or 3 component or full app to a specific version of React. Because you can read about it, you can read the docs, but nothing prepare you for the
Mm-hmm.
actual project, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so we
I
need
like
to
that.
get as many hands-on experience that's very similar to your what you're gonna do actually. And there is more opportunities to when you're on the job, like you talk with your manager and for example you want to migrate to TypeScript, your code base to TypeScript. So you are starting after you read and watch and do some kind of quest in Wilco, and you talked with your friend. So you do a very small project just for a POC. What does it mean for us? So how our code will look in TypeScript? What are the challenges we're going to face? How much time it's going to take? What things we're going to put in our CI/CD?
Mm-hmm.
So then you are able to do a very small project like a POC to feel like what it's going to feel like, and then you will be able to plan ahead.
No, that's really a very nice way to explain the concept of upskilling. Like, don't just, for example, don't just learn because there's this new shiny thing, right? Learn because you probably need to implement it in your job, or you have like this big project coming up that you need the skill to do. And also, I agree, hands-on is definitely the best way to learn if you're trying to learn something new. Interesting. Someone is asking a question about if you have like the level of experience of say 2 to 4 years and you're able to do complete development, like you're able to work in this level of a senior developer, is it then possible to get the job as a senior developer? Um, would you like to answer that?
So yeah, we already said that there is not a strong correlation between years of experience to the title, right?
Yeah.
As we said, we saw some people with 10 years of experience that they didn't get the title because they don't deserve it. No, not just because it isn't fair. Um, but to get this title, you need to show your manager, your peers, your other coworkers that you are able to deliver a senior project over and over. So it's not a one time. Like, for example, you migrate from one version to another. It was great, nice. But you need to do a couple of projects like this to to show the others that you are able to do this on a regular basis. So, and let's be realistic. You're gonna fail in your first project. Yes, I saw it on myself. I took two big projects. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to communicate it. I took project that didn't fit me. My
Mm.
manager and I like discuss a lot what are and research a lot. And this process takes a couple of years. So I didn't see a lot of people with 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years of experience gets the senior title. It usually
Mm.
takes some times, and it usually takes 4 years and more. And because you need to deliver it one after another, and that's why, not because you have to sit down and wait 4 years until you get the title.
Yeah, I agree. You need to show, you need to show that you're, capable of taking on the role of a senior developer, and by doing that, some of the things that Shem shared would help. Hopefully, that answer your question, James. Cool, great. So I also would like to speak to about Wilco, right? But I really want to see how you're, helping to solve the problem of getting people to be on top of like upskilling generally. So first question I'll probably ask around is why Wilco? Like what prompted you to start up the company?
That's a good question. I don't know if like this is something that we thought about, like the three of us as a co-founder, like think about at night and came out in the morning and like we had an aha moment. It's
Mm,
something that we observe and saw with many of our engineers that we work with, and they us leading. We saw like the main gaps. Um, we all were engineers, and some of us led very big groups of engineers. I, for example, was a staff engineer that helped many people, many engineers to grow. And we saw that we getting those junior or mid-level or even senior that didn't were able to do the jump to the next step, for juniors to mid for senior, senior for staff. It was very, very hard for them, and also for us to lead them, to mentor them, to help them. A lot of times we see that the greatest engineer that managed to do so, this is because they managed to get those kind of opportunities, because they
mm,
were in the right team, in the right time, with the right manager, with the right technologies. Okay, what does it mean? It might take me and you, and I joined to a super hyper grow team that's getting more and more responsibilities, and their product is very successful, and we get more load and more responsibilities, and our stack getting bigger and getting tons of features. And I accidentally had two seniors engineering the team, so I was able to grow because I get the opportunities. I got those quests, or got those tasks that
mm-hmm.
were able to upskill me. And you were completely by chance went to very solid team that you are the most senior one, and there was not a lot of things going on there. So you didn't have the chance, I don't know, to configure a CI/CD, to handle load, to build an amazing and a very big feature. So
Yeah.
me and you joined together to the same company, but I was getting much more opportunities, and for because of this I got much more experience, and maybe got a title and were advanced. Okay, and it really bothered us because we want to help people and engineers grow, but in scale, in a structured way, not by chance. And as I said, most of the people that I see, they have the tech lead in place. They have the opportunities, and you want to give every people those opportunities without them being should be in the right place in the right time. I, for example, was a big believer in side projects. I learned how to do mobile because I did a side project.
Mm,
I learned how to work with Webpack because I did a side project. I know how to design a web app and do marketing and SEO and yada yada yada. So I did a lot of big projects, and we taught how to get those structural way with big projects that mimic real life and squeeze it to some kind of structure upskilling and wrap it in some kind of a game. Because our co-founder are very gamers, and they say that they learn a lot of stuff just by playing games.
yeah, I definitely saw that. Like when I was going through the website, all of it, the design, everything looks like, it was gamified, which makes sense because the platforms that I've seen that have this kind of structure, trying to teach you some, for example, there's a CSS, can't remember what it's called, but it's
Right.
gamified, right? You
Yes.
would really enjoy the process of learning, right? Because it feels like you're playing, but you're still learning, which
Yes.
is really nice.
In the end of
It's
the day, we are all children, right? We want to play. We want to spend our time playing and
yes,
while
we
learning
want
it.
to. Yeah, we have a couple of questions, which is nice. I'll ask you the first one. Someone is asking what the role of a director of engineering is. Should it be more business focused or tech focused? I think, yeah,
So there are like tons of titles that are somehow very, very similar, like CTO or VP R&D or director of engineer or head of R&D, stuff like this. And it's really
hmm,
depend on the company and the people and how they bring their character to the role. So for me, I can say for our company and for me specifically, I'm the CTO, and we
yeah,
also have a VP R&D. And I'm a big believer of ICs and manager, that those very very different roles or different things that you need to do. So VP R&D for me is the one that manage all the R&D, manage and accountable for the deliveries, accountable for the people and upskill them and let them grow and give them the opportunities and make sure that everyone in the team know how to work with the product manager, what they're working now and how they're working with the KPIs of the company. Okay, she is actually leading the group to the right direction. Okay. For me as a CTO, I'm more like, okay, there are big projects that are not that ready, that are not that aligned with the product, that we need to investigate, that we need to check. Maybe because we are a startup, so we need to move fast and check all kind of leads, whether to work with this partner or to create this mini product and to make to see if that lead to any revenue. So those very technical researches are more like under my umbrella.
okay, sounds good. And I think it's nice to hear from Wilco's perspective, but I think this also differs from company to company, right? Maybe different companies have different ways of approaching these roles. Great. More questions are coming in. I'll try to answer most of them. I could also put it on screen. I forgot I could do that. Okay. Oh, this is not a question. Sorry. This is a question. If my technical lead puts me on charge about our platform and want me to be the focal point of issues and features that will affect the platform, does that make me senior? Do I feel like mid-level?
Um, so it's more like if you are in charge, you not only need to be in charge and be in the right place, you also need to deliver. If you're in charge and you are the focal point and you failed, and it sometimes happen. Yeah, it's not a big deal, and you fail. So no, that means that you are not senior yet. Okay, you need to deliver. You need to show that you are able to perform as expected. You are able to handle all those issue. You are able to lead the platform, but you're on the way there. Because if someone, your tech lead or your team lead, it really depends what TL near mean.
Yeah.
But if they believe in you to put you in this specific role, that means that they believe you have the potential to do so. So you might you might not able to deliver yet, but you are on the way there, and that means that you have some kind of ally that lead you there. But they also need
Mm,
you to give you the support, not just put you there. Here is it. Here is the code. Handle it by yourself. They need to lead you and support you.
yeah. Thanks for that.
And I must say about the feeling of mid level. I don't know. Like I never felt like a senior. I always felt like someone gonna catch me that I'm not really a senior, and they give me the title without really being senior. So get rid of your feelings and uh, and your imposter syndrome, because everyone has it, specifically in the beginning. And if they decided you are senior, so go with it. Like,
Yeah.
fake until you make it.
Thanks for that. Yeah, there's always that feeling, right? Feeling of being an imposter, and it's just like if you're doing the work and you're doing it pretty well, then you should definitely own it. Um, let's see. I also want you to share Wilco, like if you would like to, like a demo of it. But before that, let's answer two more questions and then you do that. Great.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
This is another one. This is more specific to a junior developer setting themselves up for success to not get stuck in the mid-level path. Yeah.
Um, so first of all, I think like don't overthink it. Like don't think like three steps before. Focus on your junior to mid level and focus on success, because junior is very stressful and very hard position to be in. There is like tons of stuff that are going on and you are not sure what's going on, and there are like tons of new stuff that you need to learn. So first thing first, focus on your current role. But when you feel comfortable, fix the growth mindset. Okay, always think how you can improve yourself, how you can improve the code, how you can improve the team, how you can improve the other stuff. Once you have the growth mindset, it will help you uh, after a couple of years, when you don't need to change your mindset. Okay, because you're always improving.
Thanks for that. Thank you. Okay. Oh, this is the same question, right? So I'll just hide it. Cool. I think that's it. Zainab is asking one more question. What advice do you have for mid-level in your first role?
um, so as I say, the growth mindset, this is one. And another one is to communicate. Okay, to communicate a lot with your tech lead or your team lead. And maybe we can talk a little bit the difference between tech lead and team lead. But communicate a lot around what you want to do, what you want to grow to, what you will be happy to touch, what kind of challenges you want to take. Because your manager has like tons of things on her head, right? There are tons of responsibility. She has many things to do, and you need to be the owner on your own path. And you are the one to need to raise those questions and to remind her and ask her the questions. So communicate a lot, like what am I doing wrong, what am I doing right, how can I improve, how can I what project can I take, do you feel this is something that I'm able to do right now, and always involve them.
Great, awesome. Those are very, very great answers, and I'm sure people on chat are saying thank you for answering those questions. I would like for us to now move on to. Oh yeah, thanks for that. um, I'm very keen on seeing what Wilco actually. I wanted to ask you what quests are, but if you'd like to show us what that is,
Yeah, sure.
definitely.
Let's see. I didn't prepare anything in advance, so
Oh
that's a good one.
yeah.
That's a good.
Okay.
Let me just log in, and I will be able to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully that works out well because sometimes, yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Cool. Let me take a second. Here we are. And
Share.
okay, let me share screen. Share. Okay. Are you able to
What's
see my
that?
screen?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Yeah, I was hoping to have this problem, but
Uh, okay, so I
yeah.
think StreamYard isn't able to capture my screen. Um, but the good news that I got from my marketing, the link for the invite, probably
Mhm.
better to post it in the chat, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure, for folks to see and also for me to also try it out because I'm interested. Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
Uh, so I'm sending you the link so you will be able to share it with you
Okay,
and your audience.
cool. I think I can share screen. There we go. Okay. Probably close a lot of these tabs. I can sign up with Google, right?
Yeah. So we're probably gonna do like 5 to 10 minutes, just the beginning to explain
Okay.
the audience what we are seeing here. Um,
Okay.
so the link you got, you're probably able to share it with your audience, so they will be able to get an invite. And what we are seeing here is the onboarding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to Wilco. This is our onboarding, and you will gonna join a fantasy company in a sec. So you
Nice.
choose your first name and your last name, and what is your experience level.
Okay. Um, I'll put this next.
Okay. And now you gonna join a specific team, and each team has its own stack. So on the front end, we currently working with React. This fantasy company working with React, and in the back end, you are able to choose whether you want to work with Node or Ruby or Python.
Okay, I'll choose this Node because I'm familiar with Node. Okay,
So
cool.
now we are working on a couple of services, like if you want to practice on CI/CD or Kubernetes or how to work with Git. So usually gonna choose 2 to 3 tools
Okay,
or infrastructure. Um,
so
you yeah,
CI/CD,
yes, and unit
Git,
testing.
and unit testing.
Great.
Cool.
And next up, we talked a lot about seniors are not just technical, right? You need to talk with other colleagues, understand the business need, see what the problem your team have. So as you can see, there are like backend and front end and database, but
Mm-hmm.
also how to document your changes,
Mm.
how
Oh, this
to
is really
debug
cool.
stuff, how to communicate with other teams, like what you want to practice on. So let's choose two for each.
Backend, documentation, performance. Let's see. Okay.
Okay. And now you're all set up and ready. you're gonna join the anything company. This is how it's called, and this anything as Slack internal or Slack like. They have Git, they have all the tools that you're gonna use in your real job, but we just gonna mimic it like with bots and everything in between. So you're ready?
Yeah. I'll just
Okay.
next then.
Yes, and here you got all the
Oh, you have.
gamification, will coins and XP, so you will be able to buy some stuff. Okay, and
So
next,
I
and
have
next,
next.
and you are ready, and you already got your employee badge.
Ooh, this is cool. Nice onboarding.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Now we're in Slack
Or
or
snack.
anything. Yeah.
So this
Oh,
is
nice.
Ness. She's your team lead. She's gonna help you throughout the quest and throughout your onboarding and throughout your journey. And generally speaking, she is the one here to help you with everything that you need. First of all, what you prefer, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cool.
Oh,
I'm all,
I need to reply that, right?
yeah,
Coffee.
I'm more
Okay.
like a tea person, but okay, don't judge anyone. Um, so again, this is your first day on the job, right? And this
Mm.
company has, as you can see, they are working
Ooh.
on a marketplace, um, and this marketplace is somehow real. You can click the marketplace, and this is the anything
Uh,
market, and
mm-hmm.
this is an e-commerce website where you can buy some very very weird stuff like Yodel pickle and portable instance other
That's true.
brands. Um, so this is the product that you're going to work on. Like you join this
Okay.
company, you pass all the interviews, this is your first day on the job. So first of all,
Mm-hmm.
good for you, Gift. You're
Yeah,
able to do it.
I'm excited. I
Yes.
have a
So
message from Navi. Who is
yes,
Navi?
with Navi. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Navi is the DevOps team lead, and is asking for your real GitHub username because, as we said,
uh,
you're gonna work on a real GitHub repository.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you're gonna get is a real repository in GitHub. You can click it,
Okay.
and if you gonna get here, so this is a repository that's dedicated just for you. You can ruin
Mm.
it, you can break it. Don't be afraid. Okay, it's not like I remember
It's
my
not a
first
real
day.
life one. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my first day, and I was so afraid, and I'm gonna ruin stuff on my first day, and gonna fire me, right? Um, so this is your repository. This is something that you don't need to be afraid of breaking. You can accept the invite if you
Okay.
want, and if you will see the code, you have a backend and you have a front end, and in the backend you have like a fully function
Mm.
Node.js, right? We
Yeah.
so we have a fully function Node.js app with the front end of React, and we're gonna practice on this. You're gonna get
Okay.
some kind of tasks. You're gonna get some kind of feature request deployment, and this is like
This
the
is,
basic. Uh,
yeah, I don't think I've seen anything like this. This is amazing. Like it's literally mimicking the real life scenario,
yeah,
right? That you actually, this is cool.
thank you.
Okay, let's see what next I have to do next.
Okay. So
Oh,
first of all, you finish your first quest, and
okay.
if you go back to Wilco in the bottom left,
Okay.
okay, so you already finished your first quest. That was quick, so good for you.
Um,
So
nice.
this is the tutorial setup.
Oh, setup.
Okay, so
Oh,
so you can press the X or dismiss it.
okay. Oh,
Okay. Oh, you started the next
uh,
quest. Okay, that's okay.
now I'm
You can,
everywhere. Okay.
yes. So
I do
yes.
close,
Yes, you get a couple of
continue.
coins. You
Nice.
That's nice.
Okay.
So you able to see in the feed. There are a couple of quests that you are able to do. Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah.
So there is the setup that what you are now.
Okay.
If you go up, So you will have, when you finish the setup, you're able to fixing a bug and do
Mm,
features and do all kinds of tasks um, that are related to the work. And you also
mm-hmm.
able to go to, if you go to the menu, you'll see
Yeah.
directory of quests. So there are
Directory.
all kind of, yeah, you are here. No, the
Okay.
directory.
Yeah.
Yes, catalog.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you will be able to see all kind of quests that we have, and many
Performance.
more. Some of them are more focused on Git. Some of them are more advanced
Mm,
about deployment. Some of them how to fix a flow issue. Some of them are more
nice.
about communication. Um, so we have a lot of stuff that we can work on, and you can play. We're not gonna do it now because it's gonna take time.
Definitely. It's going to
But
take time.
also, I don't want to ruin to the audience how to solve all kind of problem.
Yeah,
Uh,
you all should check it out. This is like blowing my mind. Like I love it.
thank you
This
very
is
much.
nice. Um, so eventually, the idea is that you go through all of this. Is there like, oh, you've done, because I see that there is coming soon, right? So it's like it's going to keep getting updated, right?
Yes,
And there is like more quests coming up, which is nice because you can use this as a long-term learning platform, right?
yes. In the end of the day, as we talked before, the the practice, the growth mindset is always there. You don't just invest 1 month to learn React, right?
Yeah.
You learn the new stuff. You learn how to do it in a scale. You learn how to work with a big code base. You learn how to work React in other versions. You learn how to integrate React with Vue. You learn how to communicate with the backend. So there are always new stuff or new things to learn and practice. And maybe you're doing a specific quest a couple of times. Um, so that's why it's very important. We talked about growth
Mhm.
mindset and practice
Yeah.
and see it
Yeah.
over and over. So that's why like it's a life learning experience.
Yeah, I think that's also why it's like very unique, right? It's like this is something, first of all, you don't really see often. And then it takes you not just through one specific path, like you're learning accessibility, performance, observability. Like that's the whole package. This is exactly what you get to do in your real job, and then you're doing it as in a gamified version. I like it.
Yes, and
Um,
it's also like
cool.
a sandbox where you don't afraid to break
To
stuff
break
and get
stuff,
fired,
yeah.
right?
Right. Because you don't want to take down production on your first day.
Yes, happen
So
to everyone, but that's cool.
yeah. But this is nice. Thank you for the invite. I'm sure folks will be happy to try it out. For I think we still have like 10 minutes, but if you probably like to round up by sharing like an overview. We've gone through your mid-level developer. These are things you should probably be doing, right? You should be looking for, problems, collect context, and then reach out to potentially someone that can help you start making the right path to solving those problems. I also like that you mentioned not just focused on, because depending on the team that you're on, you might get more opportunities than others, right? Or you might not get as much opportunities. So it's great to also practice on the side projects. That's really important. I think if you have more tips, definitely we'll be happy to hear that from you.
I
Yeah.
think the number one tip for me is just do. Don't be afraid. Try, do stuff. Or like um, with your hand, try some stuff. Do a hands-on experience, and not like sit and wait for the opportunity to come. Try and do whether it's side projects and try Wilco or reading stuff and building a POC in your job. Like always try do stuff and make sure you're aligned with the direction that you want to grow in.
Cool. That sounds great. I will. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
back.
I was about to remove the screen. Okay. Yeah, I think that we've done pretty much great with the stream. I had so much fun trying out Wilco. It's definitely something I'm going to go back to, and you know, I want to learn more about the backend stuff. So yes, I'll spend some time doing that. I think one final question that comes to mind again, because I'm not sure, is this free or is
Yeah,
it paid? Yeah.
no, currently we're in beta, and you get your invite link. If you're missing some, please reach out to us, and we getting more and more people to the platform from the waiting list throughout the days. The waiting list is pretty big, but we are releasing more and more people, more and more invites, and you'll get more invites if you need. So currently we're in beta, and we are free by the waiting list.
Nice. Okay. That sounds great then. Well, thank you so much. This was a really nice conversation, and I'm sure not just me, other people also learned from it. And I think we can wrap up now. But before people go, where can people find Wilco? For example, we've shared the website, but it's still like Discord, social media platforms, and all of that for people to join. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have tribalco.com, the main website. We have the Discord server where the community is here. We share things about the product, the roadmap, the quest that people are stuck in, and we're helping each other and see
All
how we can
right.
help them. Ideas about next quest. We are on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Um, uh, so just look for Tribalco. We'll have to hear your feedback and what you think about the idea.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we'll call it a day. Thank you very much again. I could say like a million thank yous, but yeah, this was really nice.
Thank you for having
Everyone
me.
on chat, yeah, everyone on chat, thanks for sharing questions and all of that. Really appreciate it from this, and I'll see you all next week. So, bye.